Hey everyone, welcome to AT&T Uverse Sports, where we bring you some of the best sports stories happening right here on AT&T Uverse. I'm Rossi Morielli. Now for most of us, we never get to be the best in the world at anything. But for a driven few, achieving a world record allows them to do exactly what they love at the highest level. Well today, we're gonna meet some of those world record holders. First, let's meet strongman Kevin Fast, who's been doing feats of strength in the Highland Games almost every weekend and holds world records in heaviest tandem pull, heaviest vehicle pulled, heaviest house pulled, and a whole lot more.
Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest. Let these gifts bless me blessed. Amen. My name is Kevin Fast, and I'm a pastor here at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Cobourg.
But how many records have you broken?
Oh, 15.
15.
I don't want to.
That's a good halfway mark.
That's good. Oh,
Way, Mike.
Oh, I've got arm length of hobbies. I like to build things. I like to plant vegetables and flowers. These are Way petunias. I like the more fluorescent colors. I like my shirt, and I like to throw things around. And pull things.
He is a pastor who just happens to lift and pull heavy things around.
Most all the pulls I do, I always do for a charity.
With Habitat for Humanity, he has the record for heaviest house pulled by a single person.
That sounded like a great idea, pulling a house. And it happens to be the same size house that I live in.
I think it was 35 tons. They raised $65,000, which is great.
God has given me a gift, and hopefully, through this gift, many people benefit.
So our neighbors think we're a little crazy. We have lots of strongman toys in the backyard. We have big tires.
Oh, that was cardio for me.
Big logs lying on the side of the driveway and heavy cement balls and usually a backlift. I just call them the boys' toys.
My neighbors all climb on top so I can do a workout. It's a great exercise, something you can't do in a gym. Last year I did my best lift, 22 women. I've had up to 4,000 pounds on the back lift. And the usual gym, the most you could probably put on is 800 to 1,000 would be the most.
Not your typical residents, but we're not really your typical family either.
Our next stop is our training facility. Well, in the Highland Games, you have to wear a kilt. Every clan has their own particular tartan. And I don't belong to any clan. I'm not Scottish at all. So I found this tartan, and it's made just for clergy. It's called the clergy tartan. The hard part about training is getting a location that you're allowed to throw on, because all these implements are really heavy, and they put deep ruts in the ground. And I've been kicked off every park here in my town of Cobourg. Finally, the head of the Parks and Rec came to me and said, we have a park just for you. I can make all the divots I want. Well, we're in beautiful Cobourg still, and this park here was declared a surplus park, and the town let me have this all to my own, and I've had it for now, about 10 years. All right, practice a bit with the hammer. Put on my hammer shoes. Dig these spikes into the grass. Helps you stay up. Hammer toss, it's a 22-pound ball on a 50-inch stick. You swing around your head as fast as you can. Let it go behind your shoulder, and then they measure it where it lands. Another event called the sheaf toss. That's about a 16-pound bag. There's a high jump bar behind the thrower, and he throws it up, and the bag goes over the bar. And well, at least the wire didn't come down this time.
What does the telephone company think about this move?
I'm sure they wouldn't approve. Again, that's called the sheaf toss. Many people think that it's the sheep toss, but they banned that years ago.
The premier event of the Highland Games is the caber toss. which is just a big telephone pole that you hold in your hands, and you have to try to flip it up end over end.
I guess we'll do it on the road. You go down and you have to pick it. Get its balance, like that. Go forward, run with it, let it fall a bit, and flip it over. And that's the caber toss.
We keep the neighbors guessing. They kind of look out and go, now what are those fasts doing now?
And the neighbors still think I'm crazy.
My husband has set many records. I don't even remember when. I just really can't remember a time. He hasn't been doing it now. It seems like so long ago.
Well, I must admit, the thing I like best about the strongman stuff that I've done is the great trips I've been able to take my wife on.
I was on a trip with Kevin in Singapore where he was doing a pull of 2 big car carriers full of cars. And so since it was the 2 of us there, I had to be the rope man. Well, I've never done that before, and I thought it was a piece of cake. Like, it looks like nothing. But I took my eye off Kevin for 1 second, and he was tripping in the rope. It was awful. You can't watch Kevin at all. You have to watch that rope every minute.
And my wife has sort of pointed out to me that we haven't gone on a honeymoon yet. So all these trips, I'm hoping we'll make up for it.
So what's next?
What's next? Bible study, that's what's next.
The plane was the most intimidating thing. It was so big.
So I hook up to the plane and I pull, and I pull, and I pull. About 45 seconds of maximum effort and exhaustion. I couldn't feel anything in my body anymore.
Welcome back to AT&T UVerse Sports. I'm Rossi Morielli. Today, we're talking world records and meeting some people who have done things the rest of us could never dream of. Right now, let's check back in with Reverend Fast as he attempts some seemingly impossible feats of strength.
Every kid thinks their dad is the strongest dad in the world, and I was just fortunate to have the one that was the strongest dad in the world.
That's 315 pounds. It's good for a warm-up before I go outside and play.
When I was really little, I really wanted to play catch with my dad, and he seemed hesitant, and I didn't know why. Because if you have too much muscle, it'll pull on your rotator cuff, so most kids play catch with their dad. I have to use a medicine ball or a shot put or a smart car.
He's not a physically imposing man. If someone said to you, this guy can pull 1, 2, 3 fire trucks, you would expect this big hulking human being.
Nowadays, the strongmen, they're big these days. Typically 6'4" and up, 350 pounds and up. Yeah, I look like a little runt out there at 5'9", 300 pounds. Especially in pulling heavy things, the more weight you have, the more pressure you can put on your feet without them slipping away. With a lighter body weight, your feet will just slip out. So it's been a great excuse to eat lots of food.
Do you ever run?
Usually when the time for supper. Well, we've picked the fire truck for our practice. Gonna set it in position on a perfect flat grade, and then we're gonna be ready to try and pull it. We're setting up our anchor vehicle. I'll be pulling on this rope. This is my anchor rope. So I gotta change my footwear. I used to wear running shoes when I first tried this, and it takes the soles right off very quickly. So I eventually caught on to wearing rock climbing shoes. They don't slip. They're really soft rubber, and it's the best way to pull a truck. Part of the workout. This is my truck pulling harness.
The first time I saw him try this, I'd heard that there's this Kevin Fast coming in tonight to pull a fire truck. I kind of thought, well, pulling a fire truck with what? I didn't think he could do it. And then he shows up and he's pulling it around the parking lot. And then through the years, he's progressed from that truck to our biggest truck to 2 trucks to 3 trucks. Then it gets to the point when you go to these events and you're helping him set up, providing the truck, that you think, I know he's going to do it because I've watched him do it for the last 10, 12 years.
That's how we do it. I'm warm now, baby. I was getting a little tired of people calling me the truck puller, so I wanted to try something completely different. I contacted our local Air Force base, and I said, what's the biggest plane you got, and can I borrow it?
The plane was like the most intimidating thing. It was so big.
The biggest fire trucks I ever pulled in total weighed 126,000 pounds, and the current plane record at that time was close to 400,000 pounds, more than double, triple, almost quadruple.
It was just a massive, massive object. It was like the size of a hotel.
So I hook up to the plane and I pull, and I pull, and I pull. About 45 seconds of maximum effort and exhaustion. I couldn't feel anything in my body anymore. And all of a sudden, it started moving.
It just took him so long to start the plane.
My son goes, go, Dad, it's moving, it's moving. And the adrenaline was just coursing through my body. And I pulled it, the record distance 5 meters, and the adjudicator said, it's a record. I didn't hear him. My son was right beside me. He goes, stop, Dad, it's a record, it's a record. I didn't stop, I kept going. He slapped me on the back. I didn't feel it. I had gotten in such a state. And finally, I look over at him, why are you hitting me? And I'm still pulling. And he goes, you did it. And finally I stopped and realized, yeah, that was pretty cool. Being a pastor and being a strongman intersect all the time. The big thing for me is the mind, just the effort, just trying, giving it all, not leaving anything in the tank. And well, my wife thinks I'm crazy, but I do that with everything in my life. Everything to the extreme. In the scene of strength, I don't make too many plans. I'm getting old. I don't know if there's anything left. But if I get a call from somebody with an interesting record or an interesting idea, I'm probably not going to say no. This September, I'm going to pull the heaviest train pulled for another world record right here at this location at my field. I just thought you need to know your pastor performed his first miracle.
Oh. From Germany?
Yes.
Yes.
All the Highland Games throwers are billeted out to the locals. And I got billeted to this young guy, I would say he's in his early 20s, and he's deaf. So the next day I get to the field, his mom comes up to me and said, it's a miracle. I said, what happened? She said, my son could hear you snoring.
There were